Wednesday, March 28th. I'm Karina from Mobuzz TV, and let's start off with a debate. The subject for today's debate: personal threats on blogs. What do you do? We bring it up after reading about a blogger, Kathy Sierra, who received threatening emails and comments and found threatening posts about her on other blogs in connection to criticisms of her books. Now, we won't go into the details, but what's interesting is the discussion it seems to have sparked about what is protected speech, what's inappropriate, and what's just plain illegal. Now, as concerns the law, it's pretty clear. You cannot threaten death or incite others to murder in these forums, but what about what's just inappropriate? Where's the line between, well, for the sake of free expression, we'll leave this scummy comment up, and this is just too scummy and it has to come down? We've certainly taken some comments off of Mobuzz before, though no death threats yet, but it's an interesting ethical question to ponder. Does it come down to the target of the comment, to his or her comfort level, or do we have an obligation to put up with a bit of discomfort for the sake of free expression? Discuss. On to Flickr now, which of course has entered one of the most long-standing debates on what is and isn't appropriate with their approach to naked pictures. Artists like Fabio Borges are facing censorship on Flickr because of some of their nude photographs. His account was flagged as unsafe and was made unviewable to the searching public, even though he had never before been classified as NIPSA, not in public site areas, before their transition to a content filter system. If you have an account and you know to look for him, you can find him, but that's pretty limiting to an artist's exposure. Although, if you're then forced to open a Flickr account just to see an artist's photos, how nice for Flickr, no? Talking about mistaken policies, let's revisit the Digital Millennium Copyright Act for a moment. Bruce Lehman, one of the key creators of the law, recently shook things up at a panel discussion in Montreal by admitting that, well, they screwed up with the DMCA and perhaps we should try something new. Specifically, he said, quote, "Our attempts at copyright control have been unsuccessful. At least in terms of music, I think we're entering a post-copyright era." Wow. Lehman suggests that music may have to rely more heavily on other sources of revenue, like merchandising and live concerts, and that broadcasters may actually end up commissioning songs from artists. With so much talk about how the system is broken, it is nice to get at least some discussion started about how, maybe, to fix it. Well, here's something that apparently doesn't need fixing, depending on who you ask. It's Windows Vista. Microsoft is reporting that the newest version of their operating system is doing quite well, thank you very much. They are treating their sales figures of 20 million copies of Vista sold in the first month as a bit of a pat on the back. Some are willing to step back and say, well done then, while others question whether the figure is really that impressive considering how many PCs are being sold a year. Apparently there were 239 million sold last year. But hey, stats are fun and 20 million is a nice round number, so woohoo! In mobile buzz, kids in the UK are being presented with an offer that marketers hope they can't refuse. A startup mobile provider, Brit, will start offering young customers free phone calls and texts in exchange for sending them advertising. Customers, or members as Brit prefers to call them, will never be billed for their mobile use, but will have instead to view advertising and respond to it with questionnaires and the like, in order to help advertisers get feedback on their campaigns. And they're confident this will appeal to folks. A survey by mobile operator Orange, cited in The Guardian, says that an astonishing half of users would be happy to see more advertising on their mobiles. Happy? For more ad bombardment? Who are these people? That's it for today. Until next time, we want to know, where do you think bloggers and vloggers should draw the line on nasty or abusive comments? Not in terms of what's legal, but what's ethical.